Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 Road to Glory series for 2019 for the Russian Grand Prix in Season 2. Last time out, we had a bit of a crash down to reality, I think, after I win at Monza at the Singapore GP. Oh, so slow. What? Oh. And now he's going to pick up a pretty damn easy P10 there. For 1 point, this guy... I'm still rather baffled how Robert Kubica actually managed to crash there at the end. He still scored points, to be fair, so he finessed the entirety of that race by crashing out like that and still scoring some points for the championship. But we move on then to the Russian GP, and I'm hoping this could be a decent race for us. You know, you've got those long straights on the main straight and the back straight as well. Our car obviously is very good in a straight line. It's all we've got going for us, obviously. We do have an upgrade coming in. I'm not going to celebrate it or anything like that, or even mention it much, because it is one we had to fix from last episode, so no fanfare for you, Jeff or Carl. I'll just move on swiftly for that, but that does mean we do move into a very tight-knit battle in the R&D chart. You know, it's all very, very close. I've said it before, but the gap from Ferrari, the top team, to ourselves is the same gap we had as a team to the next best team when we started this season, so it's pretty mad that that jump now is the jump between Ferrari, the best team on the grid, and us, slap bang in the middle of the R&D graph there. Because we're forced to fix the part last episode, we unfortunately weren't able to purchase any more upgrades. You have to wait till the end of this episode to then go forward and upgrade. But I think, you know, we could maybe just about get into the top 4 on paper by the end of the season, which would be a very, very good place to be then going into a Season 3 potentially of this series of the F1 Road to Glory. Because, of course, I am going to be on this road until we find said glory. And if that takes us 10 years, it takes us... I'm not doing 10. I'm going to jump off a bridge before that. But we move into a very gloomy Russian Grand Prix here at Sochi on our flying lap for qualifying. You can see here Robert Kubica is in P1 there. I'm in P2. I then moved up into P1 as I think there was a bit of a weird notation there. I think someone got a penalty for some sort of thing, and we're up into P1 now. So it just shows the power of this car. And by the end of the lap, I'm still in P1. Like all of Sector 2, I thought we'd lose time in the corners. No, still in P1. It's only till now, this left-hander through this chicane, where I lose my first bit of time to cars behind me. Vettel and Leclerc managed to sling to the inside there and get a better line, and I'm assuming obviously on this one-shot quali flying lap. And so we come through the last 2 corners, still in P3 though, and across the line we will be on the second row of the grid.
We're very happy with that position. Well done.
Thank you, Jeff. And Jeff is happy about that too, because I am as well. I'm shocked at how quick we are. And Robert Kubica was only in P12 there. The gap is about 7/10, but that's been the gap for a lot of this season. So, you know, the car is looking very, very good again. Maybe not as good as Italy, because of course Robert Kubica was in the top 10 at the Italian Grand Prix. But in the race, with some slipstream DRS, I think this could be secretly another great race for Williams. But don't tell the team that, because then they'll just bottle it. It's going to be dark and gloomy again for the race, but there's no rain forecast, I don't think. But hopefully, you know, the gloominess is not going to be how I'm feeling after this Grand Prix. We're on the second row, which is arguably the better place to be, of course, because even like in real life, you get a great run to turn 2. Obviously, turn 1 is just that kink. So to turn 2, I think I fancy our chance of getting a good slipstream against Charles Leclerc.
You're above where we expected on the grid. Be careful not to lose places, as there will be faster cars around you.
Good to see Jeff is confident as ever in our car and the car he helped build. You know, it's just talking about faster cars around. It's like, come on, man, we got P3, okay? We deserve to be. We didn't luck into this, okay? We deserve to be here. Stop bagging on the car. I know I do, but I'm allowed to. I have to drive this little crap IKEA desk on wheels, but you don't. You designed the IKEA desk, okay? So you have to like it. If you don't, how can I? Okay, I got a little bit too deep, but it's true. The strategy, of course, is going to be a one-stop, but here at Russia, actually, the soft tires just go a little bit longer than the mediums, which is a bit of an interesting concept, really, because I'm pretty sure the scaling's meant to make sure that doesn't happen. But hey-ho, it just means we go a little bit longer on that first stint, potentially. More time for us to maybe make some overtakes for P1, for P2, maybe. I don't know. I'm feeling good about this one. And obviously, we're going to lower the fuel, but also keep enough in to use that rich mix, but we don't want to overheat the engine too much in that race. But raring to go. Let's get into this. As we now go to 5 red lights to the Russian Grand Prix from P3 on the grid, the second row right behind the pole man here today at Sochi. 5 red lights are out and we're underway, and straight away a good getaway there for us compared to Sebastian Vettel. We go wheel to wheel into turn 1 and straight away getting a bit of a toe and slipstream to Leclerc, and I can feel the speed coming already.
Speed! The speed!
And it's going to catapult us towards turn 2. Down the inside we go. Big brake zone there. Just about somehow slow down the car. And we're up into P1 of the Russian Grand Prix in the Williams F1 car. Unheard of scenes. I thought Monza was going to be the good race for us, but Russia seems to have sprung a surprise. We're in the lead now, and now it's in our hands to try and do the best job we can at defending the position. That's easier said than done, and it's a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder here than it was at Monza. Obviously, Monza was mostly just straights and a few 90-degree corners. Russia does have some ebb and flow to it that I think the Ferrari car should have an advantage of, but for now, as we move on to lap number 2, saying the fast lap of the Grand Prix, of course, as we're the first man to cross the line for a brand new lap, and for now, we are remaining in P1. The engine doing bits for us on the main straight and the back straight. It's just through these corners really where the Ferrari, you can clearly see there, Leclerc is gaining on us there. We go to very defensive to the inside there. He has a good exit off that corner as he goes from left to right, and he's actually having a look down the inside. We're going to chop off that area of the track there, make sure he doesn't make a dive down the inside, and that actually invites Verstappen to attack Leclerc somewhat there. So those two are side by side. So if that can happen more, please, that would be great for me, because obviously that alleviates the pressure on me. Basically, those two are fighting, and meanwhile behind us, Robert Kubica is also in his own fighting here. He's lower down in the last of the top 10 positions here, but he's going for a move on the Racing Point car. Down the inside he goes with DRS, I believe that is also on lap number 3, and makes the move stick. But we now move to the portion of the video in this segment which I brought to you guys back at the Belgium Grand Prix, the tour guide of Formula 1 circuits as by the Williams team. Obviously this is a charity event we run. We take these underprivileged Formula 1 cars around the world and tour guide them around. So let's take a lap of Sochi Autodrome and see the sights and sounds of Russia. Right now, there's not much sights, it's just wall and wall. There's some trees and mountains in the background. I'm sure they have some significant meaning. There's a massive grandstand on the right, all packed out full of Williams fans, raring and cheering on Robert Kubica and myself. And then we come through to a very interesting part of this circuit here. Open plan, you've got these large egg-like structures. One could call them stadiums, but no, I believe there are actual organic eggs that Russia are growing. I don't know what on earth kind of technology and weird nuclear substances they're plugging into these eggs, but they're this massive. There's a random crane on the left because I don't know, Russians love cranes, and then there's some more walls because Russia also apparently love walls. I mean, they couldn't think of, I don't think they have gravel in Russia, maybe not. And then we come to the main back straight, which is not a straight, it's actually a curve. So I don't think Russians actually got the memo of what a back straight's meant to look like here. I think that was in the planning permission, something went wrong there. And then we come through to the infamous Russian bridge. And the Williams tour guide, you know, it's become so popular since its debut at the Belgian Grand Prix that we actually have a second pack of the tour guide. This is the kind of B-Tech tour guide pack. Robert Kubica is the one leading the way. You can see there are fewer cars in this pack, but if you go for this one, you pay a little bit less, but you get a tour guide that's a little bit worse. But it's kind of the super saver rate for this secondary tour guide here. You can see the likes of the midfield and the back markers taking this one. We come through to the last part of the circuit. Lots of buildings on the left. I'm sure Putin's probably set up there watching the race from his penthouse suite. And then we've got some cottage houses behind, which I'm sure no one wants to live in, really. And then we come through towards turn 1, where there's a roller coaster in the background, which no one ever uses. So that was your insight into the tour guide work we here at Williams are doing here today at the Russian Grand Prix. I know it's tough. You know, we put on a race and also provide a show and a tour. I know we do too much. We do too much for the public. We can see here one man of the public here in red is a little bit too eager, more eager than the tour guide himself, and he tries to overtake myself to try and lead the tour guide himself. Well, sir, that is quite rude. We defend against him, and we remain in P1. Of course, remember, guys, always follow your tour guide. Don't try and go off on your own. That's never going to end well, okay? We now move on, though, to lap number 7, and it's time finally to come in for our first pit stop, and we're still in P1. We have been doing a mega job at having the biggest trolley train going here at the Russian Grand Prix. We come in now. Leclerc goes on. Vettel goes on, indeed. So that means Ferrari are going to at least lap 9 with one of their cars, which is very, very odd. A long long way to go in a 25% race. 9 laps out of 13. Very, very odd. I've never understood the scaling here at Russia on this game with the tyre wear on 25% race, but there you go. Well, we're in now. It's a pretty empty pit lane, so hopefully don't get held up. It's going to be a decent pit stop time. 1.9. Slacking, guys. Slacking. Where's the 1.7 we had at Monza? Slacking. You're going to have to work on that, lads. You're going to have to work on that. All right, we get out then in P20. I don't know how that... Wait, hang on. I could have sworn people were coming into the pit lane with us. Maybe I was maybe mistaken. I was too concentrated looking at the surroundings to figure out what else I could say on the tour guide, clearly. But we come through now on lap number 9, and that was all good. And we come through for P12 then, and we overtake Lewis Hamilton. And then eventually, as we move through on towards lap number 10 then, and finally you've got the likes of Leclerc coming in for his pit stop there. We set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which just shows how slow we were going in the first stint, to be honest. Nothing else, really. But now as we go through turn 1, we're going to look behind us a little bit and see where Leclerc's going to come out with, along with Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. And there comes Hamilton there with 2 laps of undercut. He's side by side here, I think neck and neck as they go down towards turn 2. Leclerc tries to pinch him in. Hamilton around the outside and gets up into P2, and that will only help us because you've got a fast Vettel behind in P4 chasing them down, and you've got Leclerc and Hamilton battling a little bit, so that is going to just come back to reward me. Meanwhile, Kubica is once again making some moves here. He's trying to get up as high as he can in the top 10. Obviously, he's seen and had the radio call that I'm up in P1. He's realised that he can't actually fall asleep at the wheel this time, otherwise he's going to be found out as a complete fraud here in this race. So he needs to try and get a mosey on. He tries his best, but fails a little bit, overtaking the Renault. But we move back to our POV on to lap 13 now. Sebastian Vettel, you can see, is now in P2. So he's gone from P4 to P2. So the fast lap of the Grand Prix whilst he's done it, that means that they've all been fighting quite hard. And so what it means is we come through the last few turns, and I can't believe I'm quite saying this. We're going to come through for our second win of this season, our second win ever at the Williams F1 team here. It really has been an excellent day in the office.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserve that race win.
Jeff is happy, I am happy. I can't. What, is this us? Is this actually us? Am I dreaming? Please don't tell me I'm dreaming, because this is madness. 2 wins. 2 wins in the season with Williams. Absolutely bonkers. I didn't think it would come at Russia. Of all places, I didn't think it would come at Russia. I was maybe thinking Mexico might be a good race for us, but Russia, didn't think so. So we might even have, if we go well at Mexico, we could have 3 if we could maybe go for it at Mexico. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We'll just stay in the moment here, spray the champagne. It's not often we get to spray the champagne, so I don't drink much alcohol at Williams here, so I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered after just literally having a few droplets in my mouth here. And like we did at Monza, it's time to blow the absolute budget here. Just forget about all the car parts we need to make. Let's just have a party here and celebrate getting another win for the team this year.
Work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Things are looking up after last week, aren't they?
Yeah, Claire, things are looking very much on the up. I mean, this is what happens. I said it. People doubted me, but we developed the engine, and that's all we need. Who cares if we've literally got a pixel for a front wing? We've got the power in the back to do the job.
You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you?
Yeah, I've got to say the team is more than the sum of parts, and here at Williams, those parts are really just about 5. That cost about £5 each for the build quality we have of the car, so it's not hard, but the team is better than the part.
Great. Well, that's everything.
There we have it. It's a double points finish as well for Williams, as Kubica does get P9, so fair play. 2 points is better than none. It's better than none. So we get 25 points, and we're now up into P4 of the Drivers' Championship there. Ahead of Leclerc, ahead of Albon, ahead of Valtteri Bottas there. They need to be embarrassed, okay? They're being beaten by a tube of toothpaste, and it's simple as that. And in the Constructors, we're solidifying our position in P4. We're keeping up pace with McLaren. We're pulling away from McLaren there, and so that pretty much guarantees us, I would say, I'm going to say confidently, guarantees us the P4 by the end of the season. But of course, we'll continue to push on and continue to push the developments. Next race is going to be definitely very tough for us. Japanese Grand Prix. You've got obviously the back straight through 130R could be good for us, but the rest of it, Sector 1 is going to be absolutely apocalyptic for us, so going to have to watch out for that. But our team give us 400 extra resource points for qualifying 13th or above. 13th or above. Now, come on, lads. Come on. Have some faith in us. We got P3 now, okay? This is child's play. 13th or above. My nan could do that in this. Okay, she probably couldn't because Robert Kubica can hardly do it sometimes. And so with our newfound funding on R&D, 2,000 points, I'm surprised we don't have 0 left after the afterpart we threw, but we're going to go ahead and guess what? Go for another engine upgrade. Yeah, I know it seems overkill. And look at that graph. We've already got the best engine by far, but we're going to go for more power because by the time this major upgrade comes in, it'll come in perfect timing for the Mexican Grand Prix. I beg to God that this does not fail because this is the perfect timing to come in for the Mexican GP. That long main pit straight, that is going to be Williams heaven in qualifying and the race. So that's why I've gone for that. And also I thought I'd go for a minor tyre upgrade since Mexico, USA and Brazil and even Abu Dhabi all very bad on tyre wear, so we're going to upgrade that. I mean, who really needs downforce? I mean, look at this graph. We're so shocking on the aero department. I'm actually dumbfounded how we've actually managed to survive this season and done so well with such little aero. But literally, honestly, I can put quite high wings on the setups, and because our engine is so good, it counteracts it all, so it's all fine and dandy. But the amount of aero upgrades we've still got to do is pretty ridiculous. So I think Season 3 would maybe be the aero era of the team, really. But that has been a fantastic episode. I may not sound as hyped as I did at Monza, but that's because that was the first ever win after so much struggle. You know, I've got used to it now. I've got used to it, you know. But I'm still so shocked. I'm so shocked we got first place. There you go. Absolutely amazing stuff. Another 25 points in the bag. Guys, if you did enjoy it, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. Hope you should stay. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.